Do you really think I shoot with only old cameras because I want to? You think it's a choice? No, it's because I'm poor. But seriously, it is a choice. And today we're going to get into some of the cameras that I use regularly and why I choose to use them. But first, if you're new here, my name is Adam. This is my YouTube channel, Adam Has a Camera, where I make videos of me walking around taking photos and talking about photography for 20 people to watch. Thank you for being here. All right, this first camera is the one that started everything for me. It is a Sony A7 III. I had a couple Canons that I shot with when I first got into trying to make money with cameras. But the Sony A7 III, when I first started trying to shoot wedding videos, was a game changer for me, and it took me down the rabbit hole of Sony cameras. Unfortunately, I can't show it to you because I'm using it to record this, but we can do a little inception shit here. There it is. I have had this camera for so long now. As you can see, sometimes I have to use blue painter's tape to hold the memory card in because it doesn't always click in. But this camera got me my start professionally when I transitioned from being a graphic designer to a videographer, which then led to shooting more photos. I owe everything to this camera. Now, it's not necessarily the most fun camera to use, and that's why I bought this next camera, this bad boy. This is my Mamiya 645, and this is the first film camera that I bought as an adult. I'll never sell this. I can't afford to shoot it very often anymore. The main reason I bought this was because I wanted to shoot medium format when I was getting back into film. But this camera really got me back into the love of shooting for myself and led me down the whole film rabbit hole that I went down for a couple years of only wanting to be a film photographer. But yeah, this camera, I love it. I wish I could shoot on it more. I might find a way someday to adapt this lens to something else because this lens, this 80mm lens, is freaking awesome. After carrying this around for a while, shooting with it, I decided I need something smaller, more affordable, and easier to shoot, which leads to the next camera. This is a Canon QL17, murdered out in all black, overnighted from Japan, off eBay. I think I spent $60 on this bad boy. And it is the sickest little rangefinder. It goes down to 1.7. I think it's a 40mm lens. Obviously, it shoots 35mm. It has aperture priority mode on it if you can find a battery that works, which I have never actually been able to get to work. I've shot a lot of photos that I really like with this camera. And yeah, it's a great little rangefinder for us peasants that can't afford Leicas. But because Adam can get lazy sometimes, I also wanted an even easier camera to shoot. And then I got this. And this, honestly, there's film in this right now. I have no idea what it is or when I shot it. Probably at the beach last year, and I'm getting ready to leave for the beach this weekend. I've put more rolls of film through this than either of those other two cameras. And when I first bought this thing, I got a bag full of expired film from my father-in-law for free. And I ran through all that and shot this thing like it was a digital camera. And unfortunately, I have a harder time justifying film to run through this as much as I used to. I would love to get back to shooting it, but I've made videos on this channel. You should check them out about why I don't shoot film anymore as much and kind of why I've kind of leaned more into digital lately for my day-to-day stuff. But this camera's sick. It has a really good lens on it. I mean, it hits focus a lot. I think this is from like the 80s, maybe 90s. It reminds me of my childhood. These are the cameras I grew up with and grew up with my family using when we went on trips and stuff. So yeah, love this little camera. It's a great one. If you can find one, get it. I'm pretty sure they're probably still affordable if you want to run 35mm film. It's a fun camera to use when you don't want to think about anything and you just want to pop off a bunch of photos. That's what they were made for, honestly, for our parents to use. But all of this burnt me out, to be completely honest. Everything about film eventually just got to me. It got expensive. The time it takes to send film out, get it developed, because I don't want to develop at my house, and get scans back, and then you still got to edit the scans. I don't know. It just lost a little bit of its lure for me. I kind of felt like I was doing it more to be able to say I was a film photographer than I did to really love shooting film anymore. I do still love it, but I don't exclusively love it, if that makes sense. Me and film have an open relationship right now. And so that led me to not shoot any photos for like an entire year. And then I bought this one, and this changed everything. I bought this off eBay from a guy, I think in Ohio, my X100F. And I paid about $900 for it. Put a mist filter on it because I'm a hipster, and a fake leather strap. And this goes everywhere with me. And I have made videos of the struggles I've had with this camera. I've made videos about falling in love with this camera. I've been all over the place with it. I'm pretty much shooting, I mean, at this point, like 100% of what's going up on this channel, 100% of what's really been going up on my Instagram lately, solely because I don't want to shoot film right now for the money. And I don't want to shoot with this Sony because I shoot with Sony cameras all day long at work, and I need it to feel different when I'm outside of work. It cannot feel the same in my hand. It can't be the same file. I want what I'm shooting outside of work to be different, feel different, look different. That way I want to actually do it. So there's some of the cameras I use. Newest one, I should have done some research before this. I'm not sure if the A7 III or the X100F came out first. But either way, all of these cameras are in the range of being 10 years old or older, right? I think the X100F came out in 2017, and I'm pretty sure the A7 III wasn't too long after that. It may have been 2019. Why I shoot with old cameras? Because you don't need new cameras. I saw someone say something recently that was like, good photographers only buy new cameras when the new features will make them more money. I think that can translate not just to money, but like think of it as if you can't live without it. If whatever new features in these cameras is going to transform your photography so much that it's a no-brainer, I think you should buy them. But like this A7 III is more than sufficient enough for professional work. I used an A7 III at my job up until a year ago when I got the A7 R5. And quite honestly, until you start really like cropping things and noticing the difference between the whatever megapixels this has versus the A7 R5, I think the R5 has like 40 something megapixels. I'm gonna have to fix all these numbers in the edit, but until you really start like pixel peeping, which I am not that guy, they're pretty similar, right? The autofocus may be like 1/10 of a millisecond faster on the new camera, but like Sony, when they came out with the A7 III, they had their autofocus figured out. Same with the X100F. Are the features the same as the 6 or the 5? No, but it's still a great camera. And I think we shouldn't get tied down to gear as much as we do. And if a camera's working for you, it works for you. You don't need to spend all this money on the new one. I know it's fun. I know it's fun to... I watch all the videos about new cameras, and I get the email from B&H every time a manufacturer. I've never shot a Nikon in my life, and I will watch videos about Nikon's releases because it's interesting. I'm not going to buy one. I can promise you that. I'm not going to buy the new Sony with my own money. I'm not going to buy the new Canons. I'm not going to buy the brand new Fuji. If they ever drop an X Pro 4, I'm probably not going to buy that. I'm going to buy the older one. I like things that have character. I like things that feel like they've had a story before I bought them. I have old cars. I love to think about where that car's been and what it's seen and dumb, emotional attachments to things. And I feel the same way about cameras. Every single one of these cameras I bought used. Someone else shot with them before me, and I gave them a second life. The film cameras, who knows how many people had them? Who knows? Like, this one probably has a Toy Story type story where it got shoved in an attic somewhere and Andy got sick of it and he went off to college and left it with somebody else who had it for a while, and then their mom found it, threw it on eBay, and then I ended up with it. I don't really know what else to say on this topic. I love old cameras. I have a bunch of other old cameras in the house that I don't shoot with. I have, my first SLR that I ever bought. Shout out Pentax K100s. I have the first good SLR I ever bought. I have cameras. I have the camera that my grandfather carried around in Puerto Rico when he lived there. I have the camera that my grandmother carried around when my dad was growing up. I have the camera that my father-in-law used when he was on the police force for investigations. All these things are so much cooler to me than AI autofocus eye tracking on fucking dragons or whatever it's going to be next. But yeah, thinking about the story behind these cameras and how I'm kind of helping to keep them alive and use them still like they're meant to be used is why I like to and choose to still use old cameras today. So hopefully that resonates with you. If you find an old camera, I encourage you to go use it and give it a new life, man. These things have souls. I firmly believe that. So thanks for watching this one. If you enjoyed it, let me know. Leave a comment. I'd love to hear what old cameras you're still using today. And yeah, thank you for watching this one. I'll see you in the next one. Stay crusty.